really far ahead early on. And Cloud9 just played incredibly, and I love the choice from Envy to go for the Rapier. Of course, it's a fan favorite item, but in the situation, I think it was the right read on the game. Like, he had to do something extremely drastic, and to have the confidence to do something like that in a game like this I think is a really good sign.
Yeah, and that move is what kept the game going quite a bit longer. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, looking at the early part of the game, the fact that this game went over 60 minutes is pretty darn impressive. On the side of Cloud9. But unfortunately, the bottom line result is that LGD do take the 2-0, so they'll get 3 points. We do have some updates from the other matches. Of course, we do have Complexity getting the 2-0 against MVP Phoenix, and Fnatic and Secret splitting 1-1, so they only get 1 point each.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
That second game, though.
Yeah,
Fnatic Secret. We obviously didn't get to see it because this game went so long, so we didn't... I don't even know if we have many highlights for that game. That game was an absolute
but, I mean, we do have many more matches to get through, but of course you can catch the VODs if you haven't seen it, so that's something to look forward to. I've heard it was pretty crazy. We caught some glimpses of it. You guys were watching on that side.
I'm pretty sure Winter would like to talk briefly about the game because he knows why the game was so one-sided, because he knows Fnatic very well.
Mainly, I feel what happened and went wrong for Secret is whenever you play against Mushi's team in general, they tend to have this tendency whenever they beat a much stronger opponent, they trash you in all the 3 lanes. All the players are really good in the lanes, and what happened was, I think they did a Bloodseeker off lane. I didn't really see the laning phase, but he has as much net worth as the safe laner. After 10-15 minutes, there were 3 on par on the net worth. So that is a classic Mushi type of team game. They win all their lanes and they trash you.
Yeah, that is pretty much exactly what happened. Secret wasn't able to come back from that game too, so they do tie at 1-1. So that's our first set of matches. But we are just going to move straight in because we have 5 sets of matches going onward on 3 different streams. Now, before we go forward, of course, LGD just won. They're looking good. A lot of people are thinking LGD, possibly top 3, maybe even a contender to be the champion of TI5. Now, in their next match on Stream C, they will be playing against, I believe, Complexity. But before we go on, of course, there's one of the players on LGD that a lot of people are looking forward to, Xiaowei, leading newbie to that championship title last year at TI4, now coming back, possibly looking for another title for himself and then LGD as a whole. Let's look at Xiaowei's story before we jump into the second set of matches.
我第一次见小巴大概是在5-6年前吧，当时我们是在湖南，然后一起打 Dota 认识的，然后做什么事情都特别的认真，然后会投入100%的精力。行业的压力、竞争，然后包括舆论各方面都很大。
我觉得不能盲目的来就是做职业选手吧，因为其实职业选手也有他辛苦不为人知的一面，然后他一定要付出自己的努力，还有很大的天赋才能成功的。我感觉是一支很规范的强队吧，然后每天一起训练，一起生活，一起研究新的录像，其实都是为了比赛想拿到好成绩。我这次回老干爹的原因，主要还是因为以前我们都是队友吧，我跟莎拉跟瑶，然后觉得 T2 有些可惜，再回来一起努力再打一次 T2。
他在完成了一系列的成就，甚至说可以说拿到了这个领域的巅峰以后，然后还选择出来跟我并肩作战，然后那一刻是我很感动的。
觉得心里特别温暖吧，觉得有了家庭的支持，就希望自己能努力，不会让他们失望，就特别大的动力。
然后无话不说，然后干什么都一起，就像一个团队，像一家人一样。我觉得一个队伍的队长最重要的是以身作则。我觉得老聂最强项是团队的执行力。因为小巴是我们的指挥，他说1，我们就不会说2。然后就他的付出我们也是看得到的。
小巴是气场蛮强的一个男人，然后作为队长来说的话，队友们都很信服他，然后很靠谱，所以之后在生活中打 Dota 也是蛮令人信服的一个好朋友、好兄弟嘛。
T5的话，只想就自己能带这个队伍做到自己该做的了。
So Xiaowei returning to LGD, trying to lead old and new teammates to a championship title here at TI5. I mean, already 2-0 against C9. They're feeling good, but of course a long way to go. So if you want to catch more LGD games, definitely head over to Stream C. They will be playing against Complexity. But for this stream, we just talked briefly about Fnatic vs Secret, how Secret just got absolutely beaten in Game 2. They tied 1-1, but now they're coming here onto the mainstream to play against IG. Let's have some quick talks before we go into draft of Game 1. Now, the players are pretty much all set up, but let's talk a little bit about IG, right? Because we've talked enough about Secret in generic terms. Like, all right, they've been doing well in the past couple LANs they've been at. They've been winning, 4 major LANs in the recent months. Coming into TI, they are the favorites. But what about IG? What are we thinking about IG? Where do they stand, Winter?
At the moment, I feel sometimes it's like C9, sometimes they don't show up. Like, it's the same for IG. Their draft sometimes seem very uncertain and they have no direction in the draft, but sometimes they are able to pull everything together and get the whole team rolling. I feel the main and strongest point of the team is the 2 supports, Tron and Faith. I feel the strongest playstyle they have is when they roam a lot early and they get a lot of kills and they make sure all 3 lanes are taken care of. They can't just take care of, okay, we're just going to focus on taking care of Ferrari or Burning. I feel all the 3 cores, Burning, Ferrari, and Luo, they all need attention. They can't be just left alone because all of them, they are able to actually roll the game by themselves. And so if you give them a little help and give them a little advantage, they're able to dictate the play.
All right. So we talk about certain teams, for instance, obviously EG comes to mind when we talk about who can take games off of Secret and potentially even take a match off of Secret. Ben, would you say IG is up there in those ranks?
I haven't seen them adapt too well to 6.8. I think their team actually doesn't have any new blood, which is very unusual for a top team. They have 5 legendary players, and I mean, none of them have like recently come up within the last year or so. Luo, Chuan, Faith, Ferrari, and Burning. Of course, everybody knows about Burning and Ferrari. And I would say that a couple of them have like adapted real well to this new patch, but as a whole, I just haven't seen it. At the beginning, they looked really good picking up Solar Crest and Glimmer Cape before it was like supremely popular, but sometimes they fall back to like a Carry Naga, which, as an experienced team, you want to fall on strats from prior eras, but I think they do that a little bit too much.
Okay. So, Sin, you think maybe this is where Secret jumps back in and says, all right, we're gonna just go back to our kind of groove, maybe one could say, and try to take this 2-0, or do you think IG is still going to put up a fight, maybe throw another curveball like Fnatic did?
How was it? It went they didn't face each other at ESL, right? IG and Secret. That was never a matchup.
IG did. Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah, Secret crushed them.
That was okay. So I was going to say if they met, it was not very memorable for me.
Yeah.
as a close series. So I feel like not only that time but also the previous time. I can't remember the exact event, but I have to go back quite a while before I feel like IG put up a really good challenge to Secret.
Right.
That being said, we just saw Secret get destroyed by Fnatic because of an incredible laning stage, and that is something IG actually sometimes pull out some really early aggression, and they can make it work. We sometimes see Faith and Chuan go dual roaming. They have like some interesting pocket pick in the Kunkka, for example, with Shadow Demon. They could go for something like that, try to immediately, from minute 0, just start destroying lanes. And I think that's a really good recipe that Fnatic obviously made work. If they do that, I think they have a good shot. If they play like Ben said, the standard strategies of IG, and they just try to slow play, I think they're going to lose 2-0. I think they need to do something a little different. And going into the tournament and being their first match, just starting out aggressively like that and trying to get the ball rolling and get some momentum can be a good strategy. So,
in general, is that? I mean, I feel like we talked about that at ESL1 too. Of course, you two, we were there, and Winter, we talked about this a little bit before coming into this event. But just because Secret is so stable and they're so consistent, oftentimes the strategy that comes up to beat them is to be aggressive early. But I mean, is that really the only method that is kind of known right now?
I think it instills a lot more fear in your opponents when you dominate in the lane and you dominate the whole game. I think like a slow kind of back and forth win like LGD, it's not super scary for future opponents. Like if you're up against Fnatic, they're like, oh my gosh, did you see what they did to Secret? Right, but if you're against LGD, it's like you saw what they did to Cloud9, but you're not going to be like super scared of it. So I think the level of fear and mentality that teams have going in facing Fnatic is it's really something to worry about.
All right. Are there any picks, Winter, that you would like to see that would allow this for IG, that kind of fit IG specifically?
I think like what Sin said earlier, the Kunkka, something like very early roaming potential, maybe the Mirana we might see coming. Like stuff like this. There's a lot of uncertainty. Like you got to land the arrow. Like there's going to be a points of game where you land some random arrow and you get some bonus kill or an unexpected kill.
Right.
Stuff like this might happen with a pick with Mirana, and all these things are going to throw a team like Secret off because they are used to everything being so like stable and going according to plan for them, and a random arrow hits some important target and it changes the game from there.
All right, well, we're about to find out. Draft for Game 1 is ready, so we'll continue discussing it as the draft pans out. Secret coming off of a 1-1 tie with Fnatic, and of course IG now entering their very first match of TI5. Top 16 in the group stages, and we do have the whole best-of-2 system, point system. 3 points for a 2-0, 1 point each for a 1-1, and then 0 points if you lose 0-2 for each one of your matches. So this is pretty important. Seeding into the main stage event, you obviously want to start in that upper bracket. Well, let's jump in. First two bans, not too surprising. Tusk and Lash, I think, for any team. Generally, we're more surprised if either of those go through for kind of a niche ban or whatnot. But going forward, certain things we've discussed earlier, right? Undying has come up quite a few times. Ember, obviously not necessarily ban-worthy early on, but do we think that's possibly going to be a priority in picks in this matchup?
I think Naga
is
very
super
high
high
priority. Yeah. It's a very safe tool for Secret. Like, even if they fall behind, they can either prolong the game or turn around the team fight, or set up. Like, it's good if you're behind, ahead, or on par, and I think there's not that many supports that are like that, and Secret utilizes that ultimate like way better than most teams that I've seen.
And it's also one of IG's, like, if we're expecting them to try to go for something like standard IG, it's just such a classic pick for burning. So I would definitely agree that Naga is going to be a hot point of contention here. There was another hero I was thinking about. No, I think I lost it.
Shadowfiend?
It's already banned.
Yeah, just got banned, yeah.
They're going to ban Naga. So
there we go. I was about to ask one of you guys, do you think then it's worth banning for IG because they don't have that first pick? Is it that high in contention?
I think so.
So, yeah, they go through with it, and then...
Queen of Pain.
Okay, this is a classic Secret opening, Queen of Pain. And, I mean, the Shadowfiend ban is mostly because IG is on Radiant and Ferrari plays a very good Shadowfiend. So, it's very good to remove that off the...
A little bit of an advantage when you're on Radiant side. For sure.
And looking at the remaining picks that are strong right now,
Gyro?
Gyro, and Undying is still in the pool, but
that was the one I wanted to mention.
Yeah, but Secret is not afraid at all to fight Undying.
Exactly. I was going to bring up Undying because I think Team Secret, out of any of the top teams, they're probably the team that picks it the least. At least that's the impression I have. They don't really pick it.
They only pick it once and they lost with it.
They don't pick it, and they don't mind giving it away. So compared to other teams we've seen, especially like the Cloud9 LGD matchup, I think it was banned both games, or it was picked one game, banned the other game. This is going to be a different kind of matchup. And IG actually like playing Undying themselves, so they might want to grab it later. They're going to take the Bloodseeker though.
Well, they had a game off last game, so they probably watched Fnatic. And
Fnatic
this is
these heroes, right?
This worked.
Yeah,
they had Bloodseeker.
Yeah, these two were in the top 3, like in terms of net worth. Like what, 10 minutes into the game, 7 minutes.
Like so. Just after the laning phase, they were crushing all the lanes.
So maybe trying something that they saw just worked.
And it's a good hero to catch out a mobile and blinking hero like Quap. But there's a way you can actually dodge the rupture damage, right? I saw a video on it. Like, you have to blink and move.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's 1300 range and 0.25 seconds. If you move more than 1300 range, then you can actually... It doesn't do it.
So
or else you could like TP.
But Quap's Blink is the only blink that can do it.
Is it difficult to do it every time you get rupture?
No, because Quap's Blink is 1300 range max, and it doesn't have the 4/5 roll of blink.
You just need to click move a little bit first and then blink.
You usually blink first and then click move.
Or click, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the 0.25 second interval starts as soon as you blink.
All right.
She's the only hero that can actually do that. Now, Dazzle is an interesting matchup for this for a couple of reasons. First of all, they take it away. We've seen teams like to play Dazzle with Gyro. So that's not going to be an option for IG. And it's a nice hero in general to have against Bloodseeker in your lineup because the way he thrives is by other lanes taking damage